Okay, so you're thinking about diving into a new job search, and you've heard whispers about this platform RoleCatcher, right?
Right.
So we're going to take a deep dive into that today, see if it lives up to the hype. We've got excerpts from their website, 3 different ones, one about their jobs features, another on interview tools, and then kind of a high-level overview of how they help you stand out.
Yeah.
So by the end of this, you'll know if RoleCatcher is the secret weapon your job search needs.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about RoleCatcher is they're tackling a major pain point in a really modern way.
Hmm.
Job searching today, it's all about automation.
Yeah.
Companies are using AI more and more to scan applications. And, if your resume isn't optimized to those algorithms, you're kind of out of luck before you even begin.
It's like the robots are already screening us and we don't even know the rules of the game.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how does RoleCatcher help with that?
So they claim their job spec analysis
Mhm.
feature. It's like this decoder ring, right? It breaks down those job descriptions. It helps identify the exact skills, the keywords that the employers are actually looking for. And then it shows you where your resume aligns or where it falls short.
That's so clever. So you're not just blindly guessing what to put on your resume.
Right.
You're getting real-time feedback based on actual job postings.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be incredibly helpful.
And it gets better. Imagine this. You're on LinkedIn. Indeed. Any job board, really.
Yeah.
You see a posting you like. Instead of having like 15 tabs open, you use their RoleCatcher.capture browser extension.
Yeah.
You just save it directly to your dashboard.
Wait, hold on. That's genius.
Right.
No more feeling scattered, no more like losing track of these promising leads.
Right. Centralized. Keeps it all together.
Say.
And once you've made your list, RoleCatcher kicks it up a notch. They'll analyze your different resume versions
Okay.
against the job requirements and tell you which one scores highest.
Oh, wow.
They even help you tailor your resume and cover letter for that specific application.
Okay, you have my attention because honestly, rewriting my resume for every single application is the bane of my existence.
I know, it's the worst.
It's like a full-time job in itself.
It is. It is.
They take care of that for you.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Wow.
But, it's not just about getting your foot in the door, right? The interview process can be just as, if not more, nerve-wracking.
100%. You could have the best resume in the world, but if you fumble the interview, it's all for nothing.
Exactly. And I think RoleCatcher seems to get that, which is why they offer this massive database of interview questions. Over 120,000, all categorized by career and skill set.
Wow.
So think about that. Like, you've seen those interview prep books.
Yeah.
They have those generic list of questions. This is tailored to your field.
That's a huge difference. So you're not just practicing general interview skills, you're drilling down into the specific questions you're most likely to encounter.
Yeah, absolutely. In your industry. And if that wasn't enough, they have AI-powered feedback on your answers. So you can practice
Whoa.
responding to those prompts and get personalized advice on how to improve.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. You're talking about the RoleCatcher Copilot AI. I read a little bit about this.
That's the one. It is a paid subscription, so keep
Yeah.
that in mind, but it sounds pretty incredible. You actually record yourself answering interview questions,
Oh, wow.
and then their AI analyzes everything from your content and your delivery to even like your body language.
Okay, so we're talking about recording yourself answering interview questions and like having AI dissect your every move.
Right.
It sounds a little intense,
Yeah.
but also incredibly useful.
Right.
So what kind of feedback does this RoleCatcher Copilot AI actually give you?
It's really comprehensive, actually. The website mentions it analyzes your video for things like body language,
Okay.
tone of voice, even how often you make eye contact. It's like having a virtual interview coach, giving you that real-time feedback.
That's why, I've done mock interviews before. And even with another person giving feedback, it's hard to catch everything.
Right.
You're in your head, you're nervous, you're trying to remember all the right things to say.
Right.
But having a recording and then AI analysis on top of that,
Yeah.
you would pick up on those habits, those little things that you didn't even know you had.
Exactly. And here's the thing I find interesting. They say that their AI can tailor your answers to specific jobs based on the job description and your resume.
Oh, wow.
So you're not just learning to answer these questions generally.
Right.
You're learning how to position your unique skills, your experience, in a way that resonates with that particular employer.
So it's taking all that data we talked about,
Yep.
the job spec analysis, you're optimizing your resume,
Yes,
and then it's weaving that into your interview prep. It's like this closed loop of career coaching.
it is.
all powered by AI.
It's really interesting. But they're not just focused on the immediate job search,
Right.
They have this other feature, this career compass. It's more about the long-term planning.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was curious about that. So from what I gathered, it helps you identify your skills, explore potential career paths, set goals. It almost sounds like career counseling
Right.
built right into the platform.
It does. And they've put together a ton of resources,
Yeah.
like over 3,000 career guides, plus links to external articles, videos, websites. It's like this massive library,
Yeah.
helping you navigate your career path.
That's amazing, especially if you're feeling lost or unsure of your next steps. It's so overwhelming sometimes trying to figure out your career path on your own.
I know.
Having a centralized resource like that could be incredibly valuable.
Right. And it's not just information, right?
Yeah.
It gives you a framework for action. They have this feature where you track your career progress so you can see how far you've come, identify areas maybe where you want to focus your development.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a career journal, but with like built-in guidance and resources. It strikes me that a lot of what we've discussed today really highlights RoleCatcher's focus on making career development accessible
Yes.
to everyone, right? They have a lot of free features. Their platform seems very user-friendly. It's not just for people who already have a leg up in the job market.
I agree. It seems like they're trying to level the playing field by giving everyone the tools and resources they need,
Right.
regardless of their background or their experience level. And that's great. I think that's really cool.
It is. But of course, with any tool, we have to think about the potential downsides, right? We've been singing RoleCatcher's praises,
Right.
but it's important to acknowledge that relying too heavily on AI in your job search could have its drawbacks.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really important point to think about. As much as I'm fascinated by what AI can do,
Yeah.
it's important to strike a balance
Yeah.
between efficiency and authenticity in our job search.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for example, we talked about how RoleCatcher can help you tailor your resume and cover letter.
Yeah.
But is there a risk that by optimizing everything
Yeah.
for those algorithms,
Right.
you end up sounding kind of generic? If everyone's using the same tools to craft the perfect application, how do you stand out as an individual?
That's such a good point. You don't want to lose your unique voice in the quest to, like, check all the boxes for the AI gatekeepers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about standing out, right? It's the potential for bias. AI is only as good as the data it's trained on.
Right.
And if that data reflects existing biases in hiring,
Yeah.
then the AI is just going to perpetuate those biases.
That's a really sobering thought.
It is.
It's a good reminder that technology is a tool and we have to use it thoughtfully,
Yeah, ethically.
ethically.
And I think that's something RoleCatcher acknowledges,
Okay.
at least to some extent, right?
Okay.
They talk about how their platform can help you beat the automated recruiter, but they also emphasize showcasing your unique skills,
Right.
your experiences.
So it's not about just gaming the system. It's about using the system to highlight what makes you you,
Exactly.
what makes you qualify. It's a delicate balance.
It is, 100%. And it's a conversation we need to keep having, right?
Yeah.
As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, not just in our careers, but everything.
For sure. But for now, let's focus on what we can control,
Right.
which is how we choose to use these tools.
Absolutely. And it's actually a great segue to the last thing I want to say about RoleCatcher. It can be so helpful, right?
Yeah.
For this overwhelming world of job searching, but it's just a tool.
It's not a magic bullet. It's not going to get you the job.
Exactly. It can help you streamline the process. It can offer valuable insights, maybe even level the playing field a bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still need to put in the work. You need that dedication, and a little bit of luck never hurts.
It's about finding the right balance between leveraging the technology,
Right.
but then also putting in the effort yourself.
You can't expect RoleCatcher to do it all for you.
No, exactly.
It's about using technology to empower you, not replace you.
I love that. Okay, so where does that leave us? We've covered a lot of ground today, from like the very nitty-gritty of resume optimization to like this big picture of career planning, the role of AI.
It's been a journey.
It has. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to get your take. Do you think platforms like RoleCatcher are ultimately a force for good in the job market?
Ooh, that's a great question. And it's not an easy one to answer.
Right.
I think there's potential for both. It depends how the technology is developed, how it's used.
On the one hand, we see how RoleCatcher can democratize access to these resources, help people navigate this increasingly complex world of job searching. But on the other hand, there's always the risk of bias.
Right.
of over-reliance,
Mm-hmm.
of losing that human touch. That's so essential.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It comes down to how we choose to use these tools, the ethical considerations we bring to the table.
Right. It's a really nuanced conversation, and I think one that we'll be having for years to come.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As AI continues to evolve.
Right.
For sure.
Yes. So for now, I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive on RoleCatcher.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's a platform with incredible potential.
It does.
But like any tool, use it thoughtfully, use it intentionally.
Well said. I agree.
It's about holding on to your power in this whole thing, you know?
Your agency.
Yeah.
Like you said, you bring something to the table, right? Your skills, experience, perspective. Don't let that get lost trying to, optimize for the AI.
Right. Like we talked about AI interview prep.
Yeah.
Which sounds amazing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between using AI to like finesse your answers
Right.
versus letting it feed you every single word. You want to sound like yourself.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I think authenticity is so key.
Yeah.
Interviewers can tell when someone's being really rehearsed.
Yeah.
Or like inauthentic.
Yeah.
They want to connect with you. The person behind the resume, not the AI version. Yeah.
Right. And that brings up another point. Even if you do get an interview using a tool like RoleCatcher,
Right.
it's still going to come down to those interactions, human to human.
Totally.
No amount of AI can replace like genuine enthusiasm,
Right.
clear communication, passion.
100%. Those are the things that make a candidate really stand out.
Yeah.
Those are the things algorithms can't quantify.
It's like that old saying, people hire people.
Yes. Exactly.
You can have all the tech in the world, but it comes down to those human connections.
Yeah, I love that. So, to our listener, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by job searching, or if you're kind of like, ugh, all of this technology, my advice is use these tools.
Yes.
Use them to your advantage, but don't let them define you.
Yes. Use them to streamline, optimize, open doors, but never forget, you are your own best advocate.
There you go.
Your skills, your experiences, your perspective, those are the things that are going to land you that job.
Well said. I think that about wraps up our deep dive on RoleCatcher.
It does.
It's a powerful platform, has a lot to offer,
It does.
but like any tool,
Yeah.
use it thoughtfully, use it intentionally.
Couldn't put it better myself. To our listener, we hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of RoleCatcher and really this whole, evolving landscape of job searching. Now, go out there and make it your own.
Good luck out there.
Thanks for listening.